Can I see what I'm working on? More importantly, can you see what I'm working on? This might be a little challenging. I don't have a GoPro, but I still want to show you how I'm going to do this. I need to replace these belts. I already went and bought them. They're laying here somewhere. Alright, so not sure what took me a while to find these belts, but here they are. This is for a 2002, 2003 Mitsubishi Galant. Those are the two belts you're going to need. So, let's see here. There we go. There's your numbers. Alright, so my understanding to get these apart is I see an adjuster back here, and I'll show you that to you in a minute. There's one on the back. And then supposedly there's one up front, but I'm thinking on this model, that adjuster honestly in the back looks like for the inside belt. This car has two Serpentine belts, which is kind of odd to me. But there's an inside and an outside. And actually the inside one looks like it has an idler arm. So I'll be playing around with this. I'll bring it back when I figure out how I'm going to do this. Alright, let's get this outside belt off first. And I think you can see this bolt down here. Oh, my camera decided to mess up. Here we go, the stand. Alright, I'm going to point to it, and hopefully you can see it. It's right down here. Turn the camera around so I can see where I'm seeing to it that I'm pointing you to. There's a bolt right down here. It's on the front of this pump, and I believe that's the power steering pump. Hard to tell. I really don't care. All I know is I need to get it apart. So I believe that's the adjuster for that one. And I'm going to loosen him up. And then there's another adjuster back here. An adjustment here. Break this bolt loose. Move this adjuster, and that does the inside belt, and that's for the alternator in the back. So let's get around to this and see if I can get it. And where are you at? Oh yeah, you're down there. So that guy. So he's kind of the jam nut that keeps everything from coming loose. And then the part that you're actually going to loosen up is over here. So you are going to be cranking on that bolt to loosen it up. If you look under the bracket, I'll bring it back out here, kind of get an idea where that's at. Under that bracket is a jam nut. Hard to see under here, but anyway, there's a jam nut on there I showed previously, or I'll show it after this, one of the two. So anyway, that is where you need to loosen that up to get this outside belt off. Alright, so I broke this bolt loose on the side, and that's all you need to do. You don't have to take it out, just loosen it up. Now, you should be able to get this bolt on the front with any luck. Don't need my extension. And yep, just comes loose, because really, not doing much except providing tension. Thought he'd been at least a little more stuck than that. Actually, the fact there's no tension at all kind of tells me that this whole works as rusted together. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Well, that part's moving, but I don't think the belt's moving. Obviously the point here is to get the tension off the belt. And wrong belt. This is why I don't do much filming on the inside of cars. It's so hard to film this. You know, I might have to take this bottle off of here. I'm sure it's held in by like one screw. that's impossible to get to. Or it just slides off of the two. Probably just slides up. I think most of these bottles just slide. Come on, baby. Give me some room to work here. Yeah, well, she's off there now. I don't know if you saw that or not, but she flew right off there. All right. So that ain't gonna hurt nothing. Okay, now I got a little bit more room to work here. Oh yeah, belt's loose already from that. Sweet. Guess that's all I needed. Okay, so loosen that up a little bit more. I'm kind of used to working on things like trucks and vans, American-made stuff that you can just get in there and pry on the tensioner and the belt pops off. But that's okay. Probably better than spring-loaded having it this way. Okay, so belt is off and loose. To fish it off around the pulleys. This particular model should not have to come out around the engine mounts. I am told there were some versions to where the belts literally went around the engine mounts. You have to loosen the engine and lift it in order to get it out. That's definitely an engineer hating on his hating on the mechanics when they do that. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this thing. I do not need it, nor do I want to fight it. Out of there. All right, let's get the other one loose. It's going to be the same thing. I think I can sit you here. Zoom in. Come on, zoom, baby. There we go. The tensioner right back there. So, same thing here. Break this bolt loose. It's smaller this time. Always push away from yourself so you're not gonna make a pinch point. There we go. Now I'll get my ratchet in there. Yep, that's a 12 also. Just loosen this up. This is your tensioner. It's a physical tensioner, unlike that one. I mean, that's a physical tensioner, but it's a pulley. It's a tensioner wheel, whereas this one is kind of like a jack screw. Okay, come on, Mr. Socket. Come off of there, otherwise you're going to fall off and I won't find you. Okay, so that should have loosened the belt now. The tensioner is loose, but the entire works here didn't move. It's got to come forward in order for that belt to come loose. Just want it so that thing moves. Let that move. Okay. I don't know if you can see it, but the whole alternator is moving as I'm tapping that. Okay. Just gonna get my hand down here. Sorry you can't see. I'm just spinning the bolt by hand. It's actually spinning fairly easy. All right. Give her a few more love taps. I don't know if you can see that, but then I'll move forward about another ½ an inch maybe. And screwdriver. Yeah, I should be able to get this belt off now. Oh yeah, there's some slack in her now. And that's going to be the trick, is getting enough slack so you can easily get the belt on and off of there. Obviously getting it off, I could cut it if I wanted to. I'm just going to go a bunch more. There we go. Okay, a couple more taps. There we go. I suppose the guy took this bolt out completely, but then with my luck and my experience in the past, you'd have a heck of a time lining that back up. End of where I've adjusted it to anyway. Okay. Oh yeah, she's coming right off now. Okay, now, yes, I can fish this out of there, but how do I fish the new one on? Okay, I'm paying attention. It goes on the, there's a main pulley on the crank, main pulley on the crank. This goes on the back side of the main pulley and over this one. And that's it. Obviously, in order to place the inside belt, you had to have taken the outside belt off. Now I might have to crawl under here to pull on this because it does not look like it wants to come down. Doesn't look like it wants to come off of the pulley. Fished the second belt out. There's a cover down below that I took loose, and you really don't need to do that. I ended up I got it loose, but it really didn't help. There's the second belt that I cut. I'm going to compare these to my new belts, and they should be pretty close. Serpentine belts really don't stretch as much as the old style belts. And I'm a little concerned that this number is wrong, but no, she's pretty darn close. So we will go with that new belt. And let's check this other longer one. This one's going to be a hard one to check. Kind of wish I hadn't cut it, but yep, that should be right. All right, well, reverse order. Short one, then long one back in. So I got to get the short one fished back down in there. You do have to tilt her sideways to get it past the bolts on the pulley and past the crank down there. The big crank pulley, and it's got to go again on the back side. I wish I had a better way to show you this. Like I say, the main thing to know is take those two bolts loose, everything comes apart. Should be able to figure out the rest of this yourself. Like I say, on this particular model, I didn't have to go past the. It didn't go around any part of the frame, so very fortunate that way. Might help if I put the new belt on here, huh? I could proceed to put the old belt back on. Smart, 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 Patrick. Good job. Fishing the old belt down in here. How about we get rid of him? Put the new belt on here. Yeah. Let's do that instead. Alright, so my main concern here, or the part that I struggled getting the old one off, was getting it past all the equipment. So I turned it sideways, looped it there. I'm going to crawl underneath and see if I can't loop it past the other piece. Again, even just being under here really doesn't give you a lot of advantage. So you're going to need to be under there in order to pull it over the pulley But taking those covers loose wasn't as critical as I thought it was. I just have to fish it around that pulley. Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. So I took a little bit of a break. So this inside belt, I found the easiest way is to fish it in from the bottom. Taking that plastic cover off probably does help. Fished it past the first pulley. There's a bolt down there. You're gonna want to make sure that you get it past, otherwise your belt won't seem like it's long enough. Now literally the only thing I have to do now is tighten up the tensioner right here and then lock this bolt to tighten that up. So we're gonna do that real quick and then we'll do the second belt. Really not much to see down there. Probably not the best example of how to film this. And I made sure the serpentine belt is in all the grooves all the way around. And like I said, there is one bolt down there when you're fishing it around the bottom. You're going to really want to make sure that you get it around that bolt or the belt will be hanging up on it. And for tension, I can see where my previous mark was on the rust spot was on the bolt there. Obviously I'm going to probably be a little short of that, but not by much. Serpentine belts really don't stretch nearly as much as a regular belt. So it'll be somewhere close to where it was before, give or take. And I'm going to reach under there and push up on the longer part of the belt and see what it feels like. Okay, so that's just a little bit shy of where it was before, but that is plenty tight. Let me grab my wrench, and basically this is just a jam nut to make sure that that doesn't come loose. There we go. Okay, that one's tight. Now let's get the top one on. New belt. Don't have a choice on this one. I cut the other one in half, so I won't be mixing this one up. All right, so this one, there is a pulley here where it's got to go around one way and around the other. But this is going to be the same thing. I got to fish this past the crank down there, so I think I'm going to start at the bottom like I did before. I'm going to zoom out a little bit on this one. Maybe I can get a little bit better on this. There we go. Probably not a whole lot. So you have to feed it up past the edge of the frame over here on the main crank pulley and past the idler pulley down here. The other pulley down below, again, isn't too hard probably because I already loosened up that cover. I took the 3 bolts out on the top but not the bottom, but it still gives you a lot more room to work. Now, I've got it in the biggest pulleys in the grooves all the way around. Now, I've got to tuck it back. Actually, shoot. I got to go back past that pulley again. Kind of messed up on that, didn't I? Well, we'll see how this works. We'll see which is the easiest pulley to undo this. Definitely not the crank pulley, but I've got to get it. It's got to go under that pulley. So this could be a little challenging. So it's got to go under that pulley down there, like that. This long screwdriver has been coming in really handy. I've been real careful not to damage the belt, but it helps to kind of poke it and feed it around places that I need it. Okay, so now I poked it, I got it past there. Now I got to feed it back past this pulley again. Now that I'm around the idler. And there we go. And the belt's going to want to twist on you. There we go. Okay, I got it in the grooves. I think I'm going to have to loosen up that bolt a little bit more, because I don't think I'm going to get this belt on here, because this belt has... I was able to loosen the tension on that one a lot. This one I did not loosen the tension on very much to get it off, and then remember I cut it. So I think I'm going to have to loosen this one up a little bit more. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, I don't think that pulley is really moving. Kind of the same problem I had before with the other piece. Really don't want to hit on it. I think if I pry here and pry this around, then I might get lucky and I can just get it right up onto here. Or as I'm prying, maybe it'll maybe that pulley will slide. Oh, here we go. Again, I don't want to damage my belt. Oh, there we go. I heard the pulley move. Put some tension on it and she moved. Okay. If I knew which way the engine turned over, I might give it a bump. And I put it right on there, but my luck, it goes the other way. That being said, can I get a bolt on this pulley? Or is there no bolt on there? No, there's no bolt on there. That was the other option, is grabbing the pulley and forcing it over. Done that before. There we go. Almost got it. Well, just pulling it by hand. There. Whee! Oh! Of course, she would not be aligned on the bottom, would she? Okay, I gotta push it back now. There. Oh, goodness. All right, tighten her down. Oh, left the ratchet over there. Belts are on. I don't know how much that helps you or not. Maybe it just feels good to watch someone else struggle once in a while. But it's not that bad. Actually, the worst part about this is I gotta get under there and put those covers back on. Just 3 bolts. Don't take the plastic clip out that attaches to the like the fender well. That doesn't do anything. Trust me, I know. I took it out and it didn't give me any extra reach, so I put it back in. And those are one of those clamps that's notorious for breaking little plastic clips. All right, where are we at here? That belt is plenty tight. Well, I'll know she's not tight because she should squeal. So that's about it, boys and girls. Let me get this buttoned up. I'll tighten down this retaining bolt back here. Again, it's just like a jam nut. Where's she at? There she is, way over there. We'll get this tightened up. Put those covers on, because that's not going to hurt to put the covers on. even if I have to adjust this, it can be adjusted from up here. Jam nuts tight. There we go. I'll get that cover on. I'll bring it back for startup. All right, I'm going to show you the belts here. So this is the inside belt. She's a little weather checked, but not bad, not much for cracks. Slight problem though was the outside belt. She was cracked like crazy. Maybe you can see it better now. Anyhow, unfortunately, in order to place the inside belt, you have to take the outside belt off. So as long as I had it off of there, do them both. All right, let's start it up. See if she squeaks. If she does, we'll adjust the belts a little bit more. But honestly, I think I got it pretty good. All right. Oh, let's put this overflow bottle back. Installed. No squeaks. We're good. Thanks for following along. I'm sorry if that wasn't the most instructive video. I don't have a GoPro. I've got my real nice camera. I really don't want that banging that around underneath the vehicle. Makes it a little tough. The main thing to know is that you've got basically a lock bolt and then your adjustment bolt, and the same thing on the back. There's some other videos and pictures out there, but it's actually pretty easy to do. I've got that cover plate back in place. Put this back. Take this off when you're working. Just pulls out. That'll help you a lot. And that wasn't too bad. Like I say, there's some out there that warn you that you have to take the engine loose. This particular, the 2.4 liter 16 valve, you don't have to do that. So thanks for following along. Share and subscribe to the channel. Comments and questions are appreciated. I'd be glad to answer any questions if you have them. And again, thanks. Have a great day.